Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in the previous video I showed you how you can make your own hour indexes, and I told you guys I will post more videos soon regarding the assembly as well, and placing the hour indexes on the dial. I'm afraid I did not really have much time to do so because of my current job. It doesn't really allow me to have too much time. I'm a full-time barber, so I'm trying to make as many videos as possible, and I'm afraid I only have like around 1 hour per day or something like that before my working hours. So usually I do all the watches during, like, whenever I have time. For example, whenever I don't have customers, I'm doing the design, or I'm doing some like, I don't know, like cutting some indexes or whatever. And because of that I can't really do many videos. I know a lot of guys are asking me how I'm doing this, and probably a lot of people, they want to see how I'm creating my watches and everything, but like I said, I don't really have much time for videos. I do have a lot of time to make the watches, but not too much time for the video. But anyway, in this video I'm trying to make as much as possible, and trying to show you guys how I'm making every single detail on the watch, basically every single thing that I'm doing. A lot of people, they don't realize actually how hard work it is, how hard work involves in making watches. It's not really, you're just like taking the dial and you just assemble it or whatever. I'm making the dial, everything by myself, so including the hour indexes, like I showed you before. Some things they take a lot of time, like on some hour indexes, for example, I'm struggling, let's just say, for example, for a week off every day. On the dial as well, for example, the color that I want to achieve, I'm struggling, for example, again, like around a week or sometimes even 2 weeks. It kind of depends on the color I want to achieve. This is the final result of the watch, as you see. These are the hour indexes. As you see, they do shine in the light. And I already did the stamping as well, and the minutes as well, and I did the second hand as well. I will show you guys how I make the second hand as well. It is a bit of a hard work, to be honest, because I painted, I mean, I hand painted basically, so it's not like by airbrush or whatever, it's hand painted. All of this as well, this for example, the filling, it's made by me as well. I do it by hand as well. These things, they are by hand as well. Like I said, this stamping, as you see, like some of them, they are proper, as you see, they are like exactly, they are straight, but some of them, they are not. And that because I did not really had much time. So basically when I do it, I have to do it before I'm opening the shop. And it smells a lot. It's very toxic, so I don't really want to open the shop with that smell. So in that particular day when I was doing it, I had a customer coming at first hour in the morning. So yeah, so I had to do it before the customer walk in, and I had to clear the area as well for the smell and everything. So did not really have time to place it proper. But because this watch is made for me, I did not really struggle that much to place them. As you see here, for example, it's not really, I think it's sort of like a fraction of a millimeter on the side. It needs a bit of adjustment, but I could have done it. But yeah, I did not really have much time to do it. If I do it for a customer, for example, I take my time to do it proper, and yeah, like I said, I try to do it as accurate as possible. But anyway, like I said, this is the watch that I've done, and I will try to cover in this video as much as possible of showing you guys how I make it from scratch. So before I showed you guys how you can make your own hour indexes, but the hour indexes I've been using for this watch, they are filled. As you see, they don't really have paste inside. They don't have glow in the dark paste. They have it here, for example. So even this one is not that easy to do. So I showed you guys before in the previous video that the way I do it, it's I do this hole here, and I place the index inside the hole, and then I glue it on this side and on the other side as well. Well, it's not really that easy to cut that. I did not explain it in the previous video because I just realized afterwards. It's not really that easy to cut this the index from the material that you're using, either brass or aluminium. It's not that easy to cut it and place it in this hole. The hole has to be a bit bigger and the index has to be a bit smaller. So if you cut the index exactly the right size like the hole, it will not fit. It is a bit I don't know, hard to explain it. This one I realized it by myself, of struggling a lot, and then I realized actually you have to cut the index a bit smaller. Again, I will try to explain this one in this video. That's one. Second, I will show you here. So these are the indexes that they are filled. So you see they are with luminous paste inside. That is a bit of a challenge, I must say. It is a very hard process of doing this with the luminous paste inside, because what you have to do is make a hole in the index and then fill it with paste. But at the same time, don't spill anything on the side, because if you spill anything on the side, if you polish, then the dust will go inside and then you can't actually wash it off. You can wash it off, but it will not be white the way it is now. It will be sort of like grayish color. So I will show you guys how I do it. On this one, actually, I've been struggling for the past week or so to do them so perfect the way you see them, for example. You see, they do shine a lot in the light, so they look okay. So what you have to do when you do the index, or when you create your own watch dial from your watch dial from scratch, you keep in mind that you have to do the indexes first, and then you make the dial. So why you have to make the index? Basically, you make the index and you make the hole. You make a test hole, for example, like this one, and you make the index as well. Make sure that the index fits in the hole before starting the whole project. Because if you start the whole project, for example, and if you make the dial already with the holes inside, and then you make the indexes afterwards, and then you realize that it doesn't fit, then you have to recreate everything again. I mean, this is the way I'm doing it, and like I said, after so much work and so much struggle, I realized that this is the best way of making the indexes first and the dial afterwards. Anyway, like I said, like I said, for example, when I'm using this to polish these ones, I'm polishing them now because I touched them, and I think they left a bit of I should wear gloves, but I don't know, I have a bad habit of not wearing them, so yeah. So basically, when you use this with the luminous paste inside, the dust tend to go inside these holes, and it doesn't really work with this one to wipe them off. Now it works, but if you polish them to a mirror look, then this one will be useless, honestly. Make sure that this is clean all the time when you do it, because you see that black part here, That's the one that goes inside. So that's the one that will turn the luminous paste in grayish color. So you don't want that. Anyway, this is it. So basically, these ones, they are glued on this piece of, again, this is aluminum. So to polish them and to make this, to fill them with the luminous paste, you have to glue it on something to hold them in place and to polish them, and I don't know. Anyway, so I use varnish to glue them. Do not use any glue because you have to take them out from here, and if you use glue, then you have to clean the glue from it, and you will see it is a bit of a, it will be a bit of a challenge to clean the glue from them, because these ones you place them on the dial. So if it has any glue or if it has any impurities, then you will be able to see them on the dial. So keep in mind that they have to be very clean on the outside, on the inside as well, and on the sides as well. So you kind of have to give them like a proper wash afterwards. And as you see here, it has holes. This metal round piece. It's sort of like a mini dial sort of thing. It has holes here to be able to push them from this side, to get out from this side basically. So it's very important you make these holes here. If not, you will end up being glued here and not be able to pull them out anymore. If you try to pull them out from a side, you will scratch them. Keep in mind they are made of aluminum, so they do scratch very easy, even if you use toothpick or something like that, they will still scratch. So keep in mind you kind of have to use something that it doesn't scratch. I mean, this for example you can use, and they do get dirty very quick, even from this one. So basically, once you give them a mirror polish, do not touch them with your finger, do not touch them even with this one, to be proper shiny. So that's about it about this. Okay, so let's go to the design now. So this is my design. 1 second. Yeah, so this is my design. Similar with the other one. The only thing is, on the other one, as you see here, I have to change my phone. So as you see here, the hypnotic writing, it's on the side. Anything else is still the same. So on this one, the logo is on the top. So basically this is where the logo will be. And you see, when I do my design, so this is the design, as you see. This is the small circle before that I showed you. These are our indexes. This is the cliche basically. So once you adjust your machine, I mean, I showed you before the way you adjust it and everything in the previous video. So once you adjust the machine, keep in mind that this cliche has to be in the same spot, because once you adjust your machine, it will be much easier for you. You just engrave it on a piece of metal. It will be exactly the way it was before, basically. So everything will be almost the same. You will just have to do some very, very, very minor adjustments afterwards. But it's okay to place this cliche always in the same spot. Do not move it. Do not take it from here and put it here, for example, or somewhere else, just because it's convenient for you. Just leave it the way it is all the time, and you put the piece of metal in the same spot like it was before, and like I said, you will just you will be just a few adjustments afterwards. Another thing that you have to know is, for example, if you make your own dial, in order to move the date from 3 o'clock, you need one of the ring like this. So as you see, I have this ring which I made. This is a date ring. It's very accurate. It's exactly the same like the ones, like I can actually stamp this one on the date if I want to. Actually, that's why I made it, to stamp it, which I did not really get to that point yet. But has to be exactly the same. You don't do it by hand. So the way I did it, I got it from Google. I did some adjustments because you can't really find this ring anywhere. I did some adjustments myself, and as you see, it is exactly the way it should be. The 28 is exactly at 3 o'clock. So keep in mind, if you want to move the date, for example, from here, and you want to put it somewhere else, you need one of these rings to have like a pinpoint, basically, to just know exactly if you did it right. Because you can actually, if you move the date, the date can be at the half of it or whatever. It's very important that you need a ring like this if you want to move the date, if you want to make your dial more fancy. Anyway, that's one. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is when you make the hour indexes, again, like I explained before, the hole has to be a bit bigger and the index has to be smaller, and that's why you have these lines here, so many. There are way many that you think. They are actually even underneath. For example, let me see if I can grab this. As you see, it's another one. This again, I figured it out myself how to do this. No one really can teach you this. You kind of have to keep trying and trying and trying. I started my watchmaking career like a year and a half ago or something like that, and I've been doing it literally every single day, on and on and on, and I tried all the possibilities out there, and this is the way I made it, basically, to make my own hour indexes, because like I said in the previous videos, you can't really make them and you can't really buy them, so every hour index has to fit a certain dial. So in order to make them proper, and I tried with stainless steel as well. Stainless steel, it's a bit harder to cut, it bends, and it's very heavy as well, so when you use glue, for example, or if you use varnish or something like that, it can fall down after a while. So if you use aluminium or if you use something lighter, then it will hold in place for a very long time. So yeah, like I said, this is the first line. This one will go on the dial, basically. So this is the main one. All of them, for example, this one and this one are the same size. The other line, this one, for example, is the one that goes, is the index, basically. So this one, it's a bit smaller. It's not too small, it's 0.4 millimeters smaller. So keep that in mind, don't make it too small. It's just like, I don't know, it's just basically like a fraction of a millimeter, like a half a millimeter smaller, just to enter this hole, but not to be too visible. So if you make it too small, if you make the index too small, then you will be too small and you can actually see it. For example, as you see here in this, let's see if it just focus. Okay, so if you see this, for example, I mean, I really have to do something about this watch. This phone. As you see, you can't see too much. You see it if you zoom in proper, but you have to zoom in with the naked eye. You can't really see that is actually a hole underneath. As you see, on some of them you can see, because this one has this shape. you can see, but on some of them, the ones that they don't have this shape, the ones that they are just line, for example, or whatever, you can't really see anything. It's just like, it's so tiny. But anyway, like I said, so this is for the hour index. The other line is this line, for example. Well, this line is so hard to explain actually. This one is like just another line that I placed on the side of the index. I will show you guys when I make the index, because it's very hard to explain. Now I understand why watchmakers, they don't really want to share their work, because honestly it's quite hard to explain some things, to be honest. Anyway, this is the hole that goes in the middle, that you fill it with luminous paste. What you have to keep in mind are the settings. So these are the settings, as you see. And if you're familiar with Lightburn or with any other software that you use for fiber laser, you'll probably understand what this means. It's very important the settings to be the way they are. Actually, you will figure it out yourself how deep this hole you want it to be here, for example, how deep you want it to be, how much luminous paste you want to put inside. But don't go too deep, because you're gonna go on the other side, so don't go all the way in, because like I said, keep in mind this is 0.4 millimeter thick index basically. So being aluminium, you end up, let's just say for example, you do, I don't know, I would say like 30 passes or something like that, you do with the power of like 60, and you're already on the other side, something like that. Anyway, but anyway, keep in mind with the settings, they are very important. Again, when you cut it, so this is a cut. Basically, when you cut it, you use both of them. So you use this one and this one. It's very important to cut it like this. So basically, do not cut it as a line, cut it as a fill. Again, if you're familiar with Lightburn or any other software, you'll understand what that means. Do not cut it with a line, because it will not work. You can cut it like 100 passes, 200 passes, 300 passes. You will still not cut if you go with the line. Trust me, I tried so many times and it doesn't cut. Probably will cut through aluminum, probably, I don't know. It kind of depends on the laser as well. I'm talking about 50 watts. I never tested 100 watts, or I never tested 150 or so on, but my one doesn't cut to 0.4. They even say only cut 0.3, so I'm actually forcing it a bit to 0.4. So that's why I came up with this idea of making it fill. So this one you have to make it fill, because it's so tiny, it will cut very quick. On the bigger dial, for example, as you see here, again I have a double line. So this is the main line and this is the other line, and this one I cut it with offset, and this is the way you cut through 0.4 millimeters brass. You have to focus proper, but I cut easy. I think I cut it to 80% power or something like that. I think 80% power, and speed 500, I think. Yeah, speed 500. Power, I think I have 80 on a cut, and pass 70 or something like that, and it cuts through brass. Again, I will show you guys later how I do that as well. But yeah, that's about it about the index. like I say, keep in mind about the settings. They are very important. Do not go, for example, when you cut this, when you cut it with a fill. As you see here, this is the setting for cutting it. 30 passes. If you go like 40 or 45, let's just say it will be a bit of a problem. Very hard to explain. A lot of things are very hard to explain of everything that I'm doing here. If you have more questions regarding this on how you can make your own hour index, you can always, I don't know, message me or something. But again, if you have any questions regarding everything that you see here, I know for some people probably it's very hard to understand what's happening here. As you see here, for example, these are all the hour indexes, which I cut them, all of them in one go basically. So you just follow the same setting. So you just make one with the same settings that you have them here, and then you can cut them all. Again, another thing that is very important, that's why there are so many inside. As you see, it's very important to clean. Again, if you're familiar with light burn, I will not have to explain you what clean means, but for example, this hole inside, if you don't clean it, then once you fill it with either luminous paste or paint or whatever, it will be dirty inside, and it doesn't even work to wash it. It's just like, I don't know, you will understand. Trust me, you will understand. Once you start making it, you will understand. But anyway, just put another line inside to clean it, because it will make a huge difference. Yeah, so that's about it about this. This video basically with these indexes and everything. Okay, so now I will show how I cut the index. I will try to explain as much as possible. So now it does the hole inside. Now it cleans the hole. Now it does the side. It doesn't cut it yet. It just does the side basically. I will show you guys what I mean later. Now it cuts it. Keep in mind when you do this, the focus has to be the same when you create the index and when you do the dial as well. So basically, if you keep in mind the distance and everything, once you take this, for example, this one is 0.4 millimeters, the dial will be still 0.4 millimeters. The piece, this dirty piece that you see here, is the one that I'm using to not destroy the fiber laser, which is already destroyed, but anyway. So usually it takes around, I would say like 2-3 minutes per index, probably less. We will have to see now how long it will take, because this one will be like a full video all the way to the end. And now it cleans the whole thing. So as you see, now it's done. So basically it took a minute and a bit, and probably 2 minutes or so. So as you see, it's not cut. So when this happens, you have to do it again. You see, so this is the way it looks like on the other side. So if you see this this line here and this residue, that means it's okay. So this is the other side. These are my other attempts because my laser machine, I'm using it for something else as well, so till I find the focus point and everything, it takes a bit of time. So yeah, and now it should go out very easy. Do not use metal for this, because they are very, because it's aluminium, they it bends very quick. As I say, so this is it, as I say. And now you place it in this hole here. So this is the way it looks polished. So this is the polished one, and this is the one that is not polished. So as you see, this one has more like of a pointy tip, and the other one doesn't have it. So that's the reason why I made that line in the middle that I explained to you before. So when I make the line, I kind of ease my work a bit. So I make that line, I give it a bit of a frame all around, and then when I polish it, it gives a bit of a, as you see, a bit of a 3D effect instead of being flat. So that's why I make those line edges all around. Even as you see here, the tip is here, but the real tip is actually here. So once you sand it, then you will make the tip a bit pointy, as you see. And if you make it on the sides as well, if you make it on the sides as well, once you polish it, it gives more like this 3D shape basically. So that's why I make those, because they are very tiny. You can't really do this by hand, and you really have to be really extra careful on how much you're sanding it. So that's why I'm trying to create this with the laser. And as you see, this is the way it looks already polished. And yeah, now I will show you guys how I fill this one with paste. And as you see, the hole, once you clean it, this is the way it looks like. No dust, no nothing. So what I do, for example, first you have to fill it with white paint, a tiny amount of white paint, because it will help a lot once you put luminous paste. Once you put it inside, it will have more that white effect basically. So you will look way better if it's white rather than grayish. So I will show you guys how to do it. Okay, so I will show you an example on how it looks, one with one filled with paint and one without paint. So that's why I made two, for you to see what's the difference between the one filled and the one not filled with paint before applying the luminous paste. So I will fill one now with paint. with the paint, it doesn't matter if you spill it a bit, because that one you can actually polish it afterwards, so don't worry about too much precision. And do not put too much. So as you see now, one is filled and the other one is not filled, and as you see, it's already like, you can actually see the difference, because the one filled with paint is obviously more white, and once you put the luminous paste on the top of the white, then you look much better. Again, don't worry about the one that's spilled, because once it's dried out, you can actually polish it, and paint is washable, so you can actually wash it out very quick afterwards. You don't have to worry about too much dust going inside. You can wash it off. And now I'll have to I will have to wait to dry, and then I will fill it, and then I will show you guys what's the difference in between the one filled and the one not filled. Okay, so now it's done. I left it overnight to dry, this one here, and I will apply luminous paste in this one and in this one. What I'm using is this. So it's a Swiss paste. Of course you can use anything that you want, but this is what I'm using. They are quite expensive, to be honest. I think I paid for it £100, and it comes like this. Let me show you guys. It comes like this. As you see, it has powder, has like a tiny thing where you can mix it. This one is dilutor, and this one is varnish. So it comes like this. Of course, you can actually buy them separately, because this one will last you forever, this one will last you forever, and actually the powder will last you forever as well. I had them for a long time. So it's green, but of course you can find any other colors, like including red, yellow, blue, whatever. Like there are so many, colors out there. I think there are around 12 colors or so. And yeah, so now I will show you guys how I do it. So as you see, it already has something inside. So what you have to do when you already have something inside, because I used that on my previous work, if it has something inside, the only thing that you have to do is dilute it a bit. Just put a few drops of diluter of this one. Just put a few drops in, mix it well, and should be okay. Do not throw it after you use it. Do not throw it only if you know that for example, if you see that it's dirty or whatever, then you can throw it, but it can be reused a lot actually. So like I said, because it's so expensive and I have to make the most of it, to be honest. So it will not really make difference on the visual look. So yeah, like I said, keep in mind that you can reuse it. Okay, so after you mix it well, keep in mind that you have to see, after you mix it, you have to see something on the tip of the mixer. So if you don't see anything, that means it's too watery and you have to put more powder. So yeah, and what you have to do now, because I have two of them and I only have one hole here with another hole here, what I will do is glue this one here and glue the other one there, and this one I can actually remove it afterwards. It's not gonna be a problem. But when you do when you do it on a dial, on the final dial, like I said, it has to have that hole here. It's a must, because for example, if something will go wrong, or if you, I don't know, in the future, if you want to change the indexes, or if, for example, if you make them to sell them or whatever, and you need to do some restoring on the dial, it's okay to have the indexes again. So make sure that you make that hole here, this one, to be able to push it from the other side, to push it out, to reuse the index that you had before. So as you see here, for example, like I showed you before, on this one, on this one, for example, it has on the sides as well. So what you have to do now is glue it in the hole, and I will show you guys how you do it. So like I said, I'm using varnish. Do not use glue, because if you use glue, or you can use glue, but make sure that it's not that strong, because if it's too strong, then you're not gonna be able to take it out when you need it. So like I said, I'm using varnish because I find that varnish for me works proper. So really up to you guys, what are you using. I'm not using a magnifying glass at the moment because of the phone. Usually I do use magnifying glass, so I'm just putting here just for the sake of the video. Every time when you work with these pieces, these tiny ones, like I said, do not use anything that's metal, because it will scratch very easily, and there's no coming back from that. Because like I said, because it's aluminum, the more you sand it, the more you lose from it, basically. So like I said, just be careful with what you're using. So like I said, I have two here to show you guys the difference between the one painted and the one not painted. I mean, the one that has the one that has paint inside, and the one that doesn't have paint inside. So I'm just gonna put them there. You wait a few minutes to dry, and yeah, so this is the painted one. So all you have to do now is take that tiny thing that I showed you guys before, the sanding one, the one that I'm using, this one for example, and you just sand the paint. You don't really have to do it too much, to be honest, because like I said, the more you use, the more you lose from the metal, from the material. So just have to do it a bit. Just look at it with the magnifying glass. So at the moment it's okay. You polish it as well again. The reason why you have to glue it is because when you use the luminous paste, because the luminous paste has varnish as well in it, you will have a problem when you put the luminous paste inside. You'll have a problem to stick to the thing, basically. So yeah. As you see, after you polish it, it has some dust inside. You see, but now because the paint is already dried, you'll not have a problem of washing it off. You can either use you can either use this, and if that will not work, you can actually use I don't know, lighter fluid or whatever to take it out. But in this case, you see, with this one it works proper. So yeah, because the paint, like I said, because the paint it's already dried inside, you can use anything you want. I'm using the same paint that I'm using for pad printing, because it's very strong and very long lasting. So make sure that you clean it proper inside, like this. And now you apply the luminous paste. Let me see if I can show you guys on a proper angle. You apply the luminous paste now. Again, I'm not using a magnifying glass, but you guys should use a magnifying glass for this. Like I said, do not spill anything on the side. Actually, I think I have to use a magnifying glass because I can't really see much without it. So there it is. Make sure that you have steady hands for this. Honestly, it is a bit of a pain. So now I will fill this one that is not painted inside. Do not fill it too much, and you kind of have to find the right amount of how much you put inside. If you fill it too much, you will not be able to sand it afterwards, and if you don't fill it enough, then you will actually see that it's a hole inside. You'll see the sides and everything. So like I said, This one is the one filled with no paint inside, and this one is the one that is filled with paint inside. So you see the difference on the color. Let me see if I can focus. You see the difference, because I mean the one that it's with paint inside, you can actually clearly see that it's much whiter, and the one and this one here is not as white as this one. So yeah, that's a trick I learned by myself. You have to paint it inside. You have to put paint inside to look more white. So now what you have to do is wait for it to dry. I would say just leave it overnight, just to make sure that it dries completely. And after you dry it, after it dries completely, then you can actually sand what's left on the sides of the index. Yeah, so this is the way you do our indexes filled with luminous paste. I will post more videos regarding the everything. For example, how I make the dial as well, and how I place these things on the dial, how I make the second hand as well. So yeah, subscribe and like. All right, bye bye.